Today is April 28th, 2026. Okay, 2 years ago today, April 28th, 2024, I was in Walmart on the strip. Okay. We went to walk in. This guy's on the phone. I listened to the recorded line. That agent did admit to telling on her. And he did talk to her like that. They need to do something about this. Go over by the Canvetti's officer in uniform. So it's in North Canton Jackson Police. Police worked the FBI case. Help watch me. Came up and went, Karen, we all know nobody drugs anybody but the drug cartel. And there was a drug cartel in your home before. And we all know that guy told on you before. I want to know how he heard it. And he took off after him. That guy Kurt that they made fun of and called the Stark County Sheriffs for just finding out Melissa's kids were lying in May of 21 when they stated it on Thanksgiving of 18. Then the cops and the feds talked about it everywhere in 18 and 19. 20, even regular people. There's some videos of it. They were telling all kinds of people they lied. Okay? So May of 21, the Stark County Sheriffs were laughing at some guy named Kurt. If Kurt just found out those kids are lying, he's slow. Well, he tells everybody to stay out of it because the cops called him slow. Some guys on the phone with him and say, Kurt, none of this is funny. They have the agent over a case taped admitting to telling on her before he talked to her. They have her whole family taped defending her, saying they didn't know anything about it. And the other one saying they made everything up. Okay. They have these people taped admitting to drugging her and telling her to say it before. Photoshopping everything and making everything up on her. None of this is funny. Everybody stay out of it. Pam walks by with her granddaughter. Uncle Dave said he had someone tape her before. It's like, they just said it's a drug cartel. It's all drugged and photoshopped. Made up. Right? Oh, they'll verify it. We go to walk outside, all the investigators laugh. Bust out laughing. Took her long enough to confess she was in it with Dave and the stalking tapes. That's what they're considering as stalking tapes. And said her family better never verify it. The police already taped them saying they didn't know anything about it and defending her. Okay? And the other one saying they made everything up. And these people admitted to drugging her and telling her to say it before, photoshopping everything and made everything up on her. The police would have to arrest him because they'd be in it with Dave trying to kill her and cover it up. They'd have to arrest him for being part of it. People scatter. Because in reality, like they said, you can't put your name on the tapes before without going to jail for them. These people confess to heinous crimes. That's evil. And by the way, we're going to put it this way. Where that idiot kid in my neighborhood, where that lady's supposed to be running around that's involved in this, where March 23rd, 23, the two FBI agents from Belleville, like my son Josh, came in and told them, people in Walmart 62, we told these people stay out of it. She's never hurt anyone. Nobody's ever seen anything. And some lady thinks she can make money out of it. Okay, well, I think she showed up at the Louisville Police May 30th, 25 at 1 o'clock in the morning. How she thought she could trick me out of a bunch of money. I think that's who they were talking about. And they found the original case. My ex-husband hired two men on his own. One was saying he was an attorney, so it made it legal. No, it didn't. It made it worse illegal. Officer Reinhardt Louisville even told me even the FBI would go to jail for being in my home outside that protected custody case with statements. And a court order. It's Fourth Amendment. It's illegal to even listen. The police are playing these people. While we're that idiot woman stalking me, I don't know who she is. I'm telling you, I'd like to meet her. One of the people that actually know who was actually having me drugged, being raped in my own home. I'd like to meet you. I'll have a picture of you. I'll find out who you are. You will be on every human trafficking site. I will call, if you are an attorney, I will call the Bar Association. I will call the press. I have enough money. I will sue you. And by federal law, I can sue you. And I'll tell you what, We'll see how fast the FBI and police fall over each other to arrest you once the press is in your face for having people drug, beaten, raped, and peeing in somebody's home. So where that idiot kid said some lady came over and said, my mom, told my mom that she's some kind of FBI informant. Look at her. She's not much to look at. Do you know what FBI informants are? We're going to put it down to this. We're not agents. Not even a little bit. Do we have any kind of special training? No. You know what we are? We're people with knowledge of a crime. That's all we are. FBI informants are people that either are victims of a horrible crime, that are willing to put their life at risk to get the government information, or somebody in like a drug cartel that they get to and they flip on somebody bigger and they risk their life to get them information. They put them in money and immunity the rest of their life. And they take care of them for getting them information. We are people of knowledge of horrible crimes that are willing to put our lives at risk for the government to get them information. We are ordinary people, most of us, that live through an extraordinary event and put our life at risk to help the U.S. government get information on somebody they want. That's what informants are. It's not by your looks. It's not by your education, but what you witnessed or part of. And you help the government get information on someone. That's all it is. With being a victim and being an FBI informant, I have more freedom. I don't have to call and tell someone I'm leaving the area. They want to go along with me, get in your car. People that are criminals, they flip, they have to call and tell them. I don't have to. I'm a victim, so I go anywhere. I do whatever I want. Like they said, it's her life, she'll live it as she chooses, and no one will interfere in it. So I want to know with that idiot woman, where they said some woman said that she's weird, they have tapes of her weird with herself. See, my person, I want to know where it never happened. Me being a person and a victim of these people. Some woman came up to me and would have said, they have a video of you being weird with yourself. I'd say, how'd you get it? I don't believe you, and how'd you get it? You set up body cameras in that home? What's your name? I have your phone number. I called the cops on you. Why? Because you're stalking that person and anything's photoshoppable. And you're running a scam on that person. And I would have called the cops. But no. Some lady said she was weird with herself to my mom. And why don't she hang it up and confess? They already confessed. They photoshopped a shower scene in the other room that some guy named Pete ordered it on purpose. 22, like February, March of 22. My client Navarre, next door neighbor, where that lady from the FBI office in Canton that followed me, talked to her, that had the log into the case in 22. I'm sure where they told her the first day that guy Pete ordered everything drugged, photoshopped, and made up on me. February 22. So I'm sure she told that federal agent. My car's bugged. There's a real FBI case. They already know. And they also have March 1st to 3rd of 21. They put two clips together, put her in a porn. It's not her, it's them. Don't worry about her. Two, later on, what told you, March the 13th, 23, at Mercy Medical, the nurse there, they told her, or was it the doctor, that the only thing they had me on was simply wiping off water with clothes on and simply brushing it off, which is nothing. When they laughed at these people that fell for it, they actually had nothing on her. They made it all up. They drugged her and told her to say it before and photoshopped that shower scene. Then later on, they said that something that never happened to me in my stomach bleed. And I thought, well, they're playing me. Because, you simply brush something off. You touch any part of your body, what goes on, that's not wrong. You just brush stuff off all the time. So, probably, yeah, I brush stuff off all the time, so does everybody else. And then you got to think, bathing suits, get out of the water, guys, shorts, wedges, people. I was in McDonald's, some guy was putting salt all over his food, got all over his front of his pants, stood up, wiped everything off, but rushed off his chair and sat down. Nobody thought anything of it, because it's not wrong with clothes on. So a simple action of brushing off crumbs, water, anything everybody does, it's not wrong. Then they try to say, well, you touch yourself, you expose yourself, you touch yourself, liquid. Well, that's not wiping off water with clothes on. That's stinky being wearing. That never happened. Made my stomach bleed. Then I got to think of them playing me. What would you be doing? It sounds like you're undressed, got in the shower, and you're washing yourself. I used to smoke. I went outside to smoke. She figured out what they did. Ha 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 ha. May 12th, 22 at noon, they found a tape of them emitting a shower scene in the other room. May 26th, 22 at noon. My phone's bugged by the police and the FBI. A guy was in KOC in Berlin, said the attorney ordered everything to be drug photoshopped and made up by you. Or ordered the shower scene to be photoshopped in the other room to make you look weird with yourself on purpose. That's how they put it. The other one was in March of 22. February, March of 22. The client's neighbor in Navarre. That guy, Pete, ordered on purpose. Everything to be drugged, photoshopped, and made up on me. They admitted to framing me March 24th, 22, 1:30. July 24th, 25, they did a body ratio. It is a shower scene, but it's not even me. It's some other lady showering, and they put my head on her body in another room where they said everything's photoshopped. It is drugged and photoshopped, drugged with hypnotic drugs and told to say stuff in Photoshop to washing. See, that's where that lady telling her kid that. Gotta be ashamed. I told the sheriffs. They need to go around this area and find out who that lady is that's stalking me. Carl noticed in Sugar Creek we had people following us. He said, I've seen that couple around us several times, different places. I said, I told you I'm being stalked. I've been being stalked for 8 years. And so I started going on how evil these people are. And I'll tell you what, my mom is 91 years old, okay? And she's a little old Christian lady. Skirt, hair up in a bun. She acts, now, she's 91, but she's always acted like this. She's from Southern Indiana, Southern Illinois. She's real hick. And she acts like a Southern Baptist, like an African-American woman, real religious, and there's not demeaning it. It's actually adorable, and it's funny, but they're real religious and real bold and real loud, but she's white, and she's a Southern Christian. They're loud, and they don't care. Good idea. See, if you would have came up to her and told her you had button cameras up in her home, she would have went, I'm calling the police on you. I know you can't be in my home. What is wrong with you, you nasty, dirty person? And they would have said something about being weird with yourself. She would have looked at him and said, I've never done something so nasty and dirty like that in my life, and you got demons. Lord Jesus. And she would have put her hand up. Help me, this man's got demons. Or woman. And she wouldn't have cared if she was in the middle of a store, Walmart, screaming, Lord Jesus, help me. And if you wouldn't have shush her, she would have said, don't you dare shush me. Lord Jesus, these people got demons. Because they're not right. And they can't be in my home. And I've never done anything so nasty, dirty in my life. And then photoshopping something like that. They got demons. They ain't right. They're nasty, dirty people. Lord Jesus, help me. And she would have been screaming at Mama. And you wouldn't have shushed her. I have a right. I told you she got like a Southern Baptist. She was a loud, proud Christian. You never incited her unless you wanted embarrassed. I called her up in 1819. I was talking to her. I said, Mom, I said, I've never been accused of of ever hurting anyone. Never, ever even been accused. She said, I know that, Karen. These people are nasty, dirty people making up dirty lies on you. Police in bed stabbed her. Never been accused of anything bad. Never been accused of ever hurting anyone. Not even accused of it. Never hurt anyone. I know that, Karen. These people are nasty, dirty people making up lies on you. See, that's what you would have got. And especially when she was younger, hot-headed, loud, rude, little old lady in a bun and a skirt. And she would have screamed at these people, Lord Jesus, they got demons. Help me, Lord. She would have embarrassed the hell out of you. She would have been screaming. Call the police. Those people said they were in my home stalking me. Apparently they photoshopped something to make me look weird. Because I've never done anything, something nasty and dirty in my whole life. Lord Jesus, save me from these nasty, dirty people. They got demons. And she would have had her hands in the air, screaming for God to help her. And so would have deserved that, because I would have walked off laughing. But my mom had no shame. Loves the Lord with all her heart. And she's a loud, proud Christian. And like I said, she acts like somebody that, and it's adorable. I'm not demeaning, not making fun of them. But people that are from the South, they worship God with all their heart. They are loud, proud Christians. And the Southern, like Baptist, what you would even think of an African American church being loud and out there and praising God with all their heart, mind, and soul, and being loud and proud in front of people they don't care because they love the Lord. There's nothing wrong with that. But my mom's white, and being a Southern Christian has the same mentality. She loves the Lord with all her heart. She didn't tolerate nasty, dirty people. If you thought you were going to embarrass her, she would have put you in your place and nobody would have shushed her. She has rights and she'd speak her mind. And she would have been screaming for God to help her, save me from these demon-possessed people. I know my mother. And she would have had her hands in the air, singing, asking God to help her, save her from these demon-possessed people that breaking her home and set up cameras. My mom and their nasty, dirty people, Lord Jesus, save me. And she would have been screaming her head off. Because I've never done anything so nasty during my life, and they're in here lying. Lord help me. And nobody would have quieted her. She would have embarrassed the hell out of them. And rightfully so, they deserved it. So where that idiot kid said, my mom said some lady said she was in her home and she's weird with herself. Why didn't her mom have a brain cell? Let that kid mom have a brain cell. They can't be in your home. Police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life with statements in a court order. My mom is 91 years old and would know that. 91. And she would have known that. So what is wrong with your mom? That she doesn't have a brain cell in her head. That she didn't know that. And that lady is a con man, scamming your mom. And what is she doing in your home? When she's setting up on cameras in other people's homes. She set them up in yours. She's looking to sell you because she's a human trafficker. She's part of having people raped in their own home, drugged, and told to say stuff trying to extort money from the government. Did anybody ever tell Agent John that too? That where Lisa and Ron admitted to a federal agent March 27, 25 that everybody in that office was lying, that they were offended and about everything. And where March 20th, 26th, Walmart, West Haas, by the electronic, an investigator and an FBI agent got it out of him. Did they tell them that these people admitted that this whole thing was a scam to extort money from the government, November 23rd, 25? And they asked my ex-husband if they could do it to me. That's why all this happened. He agreed. And then December 1st, 25, Michelle told an investigator that this whole thing was a scam to extort money from the government. Her ex-husband was involved. They all were. Because you got to think, they're breaking in my home. I don't know they're there. They were stabbing me with hypnotic drugs August 4th, 25, August 5th, 25, August 7th, 25, August 31st, 25. Then in September of 25, that as I walked by, they would jab me or go, ow, would something just bite me? And you never seen her talk to anybody. And then you sit down, take a drink, and you go like this. And then hours later, come out, I got marks on you, thrown up. Then you end up with a real bad personal infection. Have you been drugged, being raped in your own home? Never seen her talk to anybody. They could have killed me. Made it lethal. They could have kidnapped me. Made it look like a home invasion, found my body. But they didn't. See, that's where they didn't want me dead. Where they tried with the temps and stuff. But they didn't want me dead. You know what they wanted? A con run on me. A scam. And then they had all their parts set up. So it was a big theater thing. Scare me into calling the FBI. So they said April 19th, 25. That soon as I called the FBI hotline, they walked into another FBI office. Confessed they really don't want it. They had their skit all planned out. It's like round of applause for the greatest actors. Of people acting like I threatened them. I hadn't seen or talked to them in years and only said hi to them last time. Other ones saying they're offended over someone calling me a faker 15 years ago and I was medication errors, medical malpractice, and fraud almost killed me. And my muscles had locked up from all that surgeries, and then I had to learn to walk again after the massive body swelling, heart attack, seizures. Thyroid adrenal gland shut down. I almost died from medical malpractice. Took me 9 months to get well. So them saying they're offended because took me 9 months to get well, and somebody lies on me 6 months after a traffic accident I had nothing to do with. And here it is 15 years later. 15 years later. They want to kill me? That don't even make sense. And I don't even have anything to do with them. And so they're all in there lying. And they got this big theater thing. What did they want? Trick that agent into defrauding me. Open a case, leave me there. And he thought that they would hand him the government money. What did they confess? They were there to extort money from the government. The whole thing. They were running a con on the FBI. That's what all this was about, was to steal from the government. Everything they did to me was to steal. That's where people gave up years ago. They never got any money. They didn't find it funny anymore. Doing all that harm to me, and they never got any money. That's where September 30th, 25, 1 o'clock in the morning, Dave's ex-girlfriend, Michelle, some biker was yelling at her that the guys running it told him not to say a word to me again in my life, that this whole thing was a scam to extort money from the government. And is that what's going on? Yes. September 30th, 25, 1 o'clock in the morning, that the guys running it said not to say a word to her again in life, that this whole thing was your family's debt to drug dealers. That's how that one went. And is that what's going on? Yes. Does she even know who you are? No, I don't want her to know. She doesn't even know who you are, and you had someone bash in her head to have her raped and tortured because you were in debt to drug dealers. Yes. I'm sorry. I listened to her friend Matt and her talk January 13th, 23, that the Ohio drug dealers were threatening that agent's life because they thought he let all those people be human trafficked, and it was your family letting them be human trafficked. Yes, your family human trafficked people because you were in debt to drug dealers. Yes, I'm sorry. Was your family that incited her new husband's family to threaten his life, to steal everything from him? Yes, but I really liked that part. I wanted it. Like, it makes it okay. Did you know the original cartel by September 23 admitted they photoshopped everything? Yes, I knew that. Do you know that her ex-husband already confessed to the original cartel that they had it was medical malpractice, fraud, and medication errors that made her sick before? Did you know that? Yes. Good idea. So November 23rd, 25, Macy's and Summit Mall downstairs. Girls saying this whole thing was a scam to extort money from the government. They needed somebody to run a scam on. So they went to my ex-husband. He agreed if they made sure he got everything, they could do it to me. It was a scam to steal from the FBI. Because they could have killed me at any time, but they didn't. They ran the scam instead. So they could take it to the FBI to steal from them. December 1st, 25, the other Michelle that's been telling on, the real pretty one that dated an agent, showed up in another investigator's office. Said that Michelle showed up at my office, said that this whole thing was a scam to extort money from the government. Her ex-husband was involved. They all were. And that the doctor from before was not one of my works for them, and they had lied. He was one of her doctors. She actually don't know who he is. The guy Pete that was running his mouth about her, she don't even know who that is. It's just some guy Dave hired on his own. He hired all these people. I don't know him. And they admitted to using hypnotic drugs on her when they drugged her and told her to say it before, and she has no memory of those people. And the tape of Weird with yourself is nothing but Photoshop to washing yourself in the shower. They photoshopped that. It was just a scam to extort money from the government. That's where January 1926, Henry Moffitt shows up. Oh, he was the one that got a hold of me online, the weird messages. I think you're beautiful. Something about love on a beach. I don't know. And then people talk about him in stores, and he rides around with the Florida drug dealers. Judge Petersburg. I don't know him from Adam. He said I was the one that sent her the messages online. I thought you looked like that picture. He said, I'm glad I've never, he said, I'm glad I never met her in person. I thought, buddy, you wouldn't have got a pity date. He said, I tell all men she's not good enough for another man. I thought, fuck you. Just looking at this guy, of who the hell are you? And he said the officers watch her for the case. They only feel sorry for her because she acts like a big kid. I thought they liked me, and there's a quarter of her, so shut up. I don't know you. Like he said, he never met me in person. He said, I told her new husband's family that I'd steal everything for them. Found out his son was down there vandalizing stuff on the farm. I told him, stay out of it. I'll steal everything for him. So that's that girl's dad. Okay. And said I have a judge's friend that is gonna enter all my tapes in court from the tape of Weird with herself. They already confessed it was photoshopped or washing years ago. And the drug confessions in court while the FBI is busy with Minnesota. And turn all the cases money over to me, and I'll pull a fast one on them, be long gone when they realize what happened. And then I'll steal all the cases money I thought over my dead body. I wrote the president and I wrote the FBI internal affairs. So did anybody ever tell Agent John when they walked in that office? He was a target. They were just pulling a con on me to extort money from the FBI. That's what all this was about. Like people said, they pulled the biggest con here, trying to extort money from the government. Can I have my money now, Agent John? I need it. I need a medical card. Most people win awards for living through what I did. I like a letter of thank you. A medical card, new name for me and Carl. He likes Fred. so we can live our life in peace. The life of peace you promised me. I fight for it every day. Every day. They were just in there to scam money out of the government. Thinking where they said that the guy did this was trying to prove that the U.S. government and its people were so dumb they'd fall for anything. Chew on that. They thought you were dumb. All of them did. They were just in there. Where even Ron and Lisa told an FBI agent that they were lying about everything when they went in there. They were even lying to you. Everybody was. Even Katie confessed I never threatened her. I hadn't talked to her in years, and the last thing I ever said to her was hi, maybe 2011, 2012. She walked by in the mall. We avoided her like a plague. That's why she was getting even with me. Because 23 years ago, when I went to that church, I avoided her like the plague because she was cheating with my sister's husband, Tim. So I avoided her for unpolite conversation. Linda wouldn't say anything, so we stayed out of it, so I avoided her. Like they said, and people didn't blame me one bit for avoiding her, for her cheating with my sister's husband. And then they found out it was 23 years ago. What is she doing? And then she was getting even with me by lying on me. And then when they found out it was 15 years from the case started, that I hadn't even been part of her church. What is she talking about? She didn't even go to her church, had nothing to do with her. She's mad because she didn't talk to her. And it's something. She thinks she's got a glory in the great I am. All of them did, and that everybody should kill and destroy for them. And they were all in there lying to you to steal for money. Well, who was Michelle, I found out? Katie's family member. The one that was in debt to drug dealers. Where August 30th, 23, they were talking to someone driving by at Fred Martin, the couple that was in there. Did you get enough money to pay him back? If you did, tell him to leave her alone. Where they kept saying they were stealing for a poor family, where Anita and Pam were talking. Mary's niece, Michelle, was willing to kill somebody just to date someone like Dave. And the opportunity to do it. And Dave was excited. He never had anybody willing to kill someone just to date him. And that poor family needs his help. They're in debt. It was Katie is Mary's daughter. Michelle's her niece. And then Henry Murphy must be some kind of family member. I don't know if it's great niece or what, because she's so young. But that's Katie's family member and her dad. Anita's her sister-in-law. Yeah. Break it down to that. That's why they're all stealing, just to pay off that drug debt. And they said that Will guy was trying to prove that he could get into this gang that nobody wanted, or not, they wouldn't let anybody in, that Texas group, the Muslims. And they found out that they're connected to ISIS. My God. Extreme Muslim jobs. And he was trying to prove how strong he was and that he could get in a gang that nobody could get into. Why would you want to be a terrorist? But they did a terrorist act here. Well, I'm going to go ahead and upload this. Can I have my money now, Agent John? Please. I need out of here.